Hello everybody, my name is Rikard Damm. I'm living and working in Germany at the Deutsche Telekom, so I live in Bonn right now with the Deutsche Telekom headquarters. My title is Vice President and Top Program Lead of something called Home OS, which is a technology, a platform and a way to reimagine digital user experiences in and around the home. So my main areas of responsibility is to provide these kind of innovations and build these kind of technologies and provide it to the market in the, let's call it like the 12 to 24 month time frame. So my background is that I have now 20 years of experience nearly in the telecom industry. Being Swedish, no surprises there. I've been working for Ericsson for 10 years, and after that I worked for Telia. My previous career was in life science, so I had a few years working in the life science sector in GE Healthcare and a startup in Sweden in the mid or late 90s, early 2000s. Deutsche Telekom as such is a huge company, and they are in a position that many companies I think are in, is that they want to continue and they want to invest in innovation and digital transformation. And this is really what I was scheduled to talk about. Why am I more qualified than anybody else to talk about this? I don't know if I am, first of all, but I've had some sort of time and some hobby interests at the very least in looking into the mechanics and the practitioner's view of innovation. So one thing is after my MBA at Handelshögskolan, I myself together with a fellow alumni there and a classmate, we wrote a book, Death on the Blue Ocean, about innovation. We interviewed CEOs and we interviewed innovation practitioners, if you wish, on the topic of why innovations usually fail. That was the topic of the book. This later led to myself being picked out for a fellowship in the US. So I was in the US for 7 weeks doing something called the Eisenhower Innovation Fellowships, where I was brought around and shipped around, so to speak, to interview roughly 100 CEOs, 100, well, not only CEOs, but CEOs, practitioners, VPs of innovation, investment managers, and also academic scholars and also nonprofits on the topic of digital transformation, innovation. How do you actually structure it best? How do you invest? How do you choose to what to invest in? How do you make sure that you fail as gloriously as possible? Let's put it like this, because innovation includes failing. And how do you also make sure that you invest in the right things? So I met a few really inspiring companies such as MasterCard, and I really tried to sort of document that in some learning. So the learnings that came out of that I've been using, not only in my career, but also to help out at Handelshögskolan and other universities such as Babson and in Norway at Molde University, and teaching master students on the practitioner's view of innovation backed up with a few case studies. Some of the main findings in terms of innovation is that, first of all, the word is very much overused. And I think that now, hopefully, when we get out of the Corona and COVID crisis that we have right now, the epidemic, we will once again, for natural reasons, see that there's a huge need for transformation of industries, digital transformations. A lot of this will be wrapped in the envelope of innovation, of course. Like we will see leaders saying that we need to be faster at innovation. We'll have to innovate more. In general, for practitioners and company leaders, this usually means that they have to look into how they can innovate on top of their existing business models, on top of their existing infrastructure, on top of their existing sort of operating system that they have in their companies. And that's where people like myself come in. So I love to really look at the lay of the land, come into a company and try to work with building new offerings, building new business models, new technologies on top of what is already there, which is actually, even according to Clayton Christensen, in the Innovator's Dilemma, this is the main form of innovation. So there are a couple of things that successful innovation leaders and digital transformation leaders do. One is that they are very good as a company or as individuals at detecting weak signals in the market. And this could be transformative technologies, this could be transformative user experiences, this could be new customer segments whatever it is that can be served in new ways by just augmenting your existing operating system, infrastructure, and resources. One example of that is Netflix when they moved from DVD to cloud-based to streaming. Reed Hastings there was really good at sensing the right moment in time where there was an inflection point with technology, business model, willingness to pay, and all of the customer sentiment at the same time, like matching those. And it was actually not a coincidence, I think, that they succeeded there. Other things are managing false positives, which is sort of the other part of that, flipping the coin over. Is if you are too adept at looking at the weak signals, you will have a lot of misses. So how do you manage your failures? How do you document and how do you really learn and put that into an institutional way forward? So that is another thing that I talk a lot about. And then the last thing, just to round off, and this is usually where the discussion with you guys and also with company leaders usually is most fruitful, is the role of talented leadership and the role of leadership teams, the role of the board, and the role of the corporate governance structure in the company to allow for enough resources to be spent on innovation, but still maintaining sort of the normal flow of evolution in the company. So talented leadership and maybe looking at how do you appoint or structure your company in order to invest the appropriate amount of time and resources without sort of cannibalizing too much on your existing business. So that in a nutshell was what I would like to discuss with you, and hopefully we can do that again. In case you have your way by Bonn, so if you're in Bonn, for instance, or if you would like to hang out in any other way, I would be happy to have coffee with you, to have lunch, or maybe even a round of golf. That would be fantastic. So I welcome you to contact me directly through email or just give me a call, and just take the discussion from there if we don't see each other before the next alumni event. So take care, stay safe, and thank you very much.